Not gonna lie, I'm having trouble starting this video. How do you fully encapsulate dominance? How many different ways can you say, yeah, this guy is good before it gets redundant? Nevertheless, with Dexter Lawrence, it really is difficult to try and describe how much of a unicorn he is. He's had a slow yet fast ascension into elite NFL company. It took 3 years, but since 2022, Dex has been one of the league's best players. And again, it's challenging to properly appreciate what he's doing right now because he's the only one doing it at his position. The switch to nose tackle changed Dexter Lawrence's career. That decision, along with utilizing his violent, heavy, and strong hands more, created a monster that can't be contained. And as of mid-November in 2022, Next Gen had Dexter Lawrence aligned as a zero-technique nose tackle on 150 snaps, second in the NFL. And that was more than his first 3 seasons combined at 113 snaps. Since then, he has remained as a nose tackle, and what's scary for every opponent the Giants play, it still feels like he's getting better. The most doubled man in football, and depending on who you ask, it's not particularly close. In the next-gen era since 2018, Dexter Lawrence this past year was doubled on the highest rate of any player with at least 200 pass rush snaps in a season at 63.8% of snaps. Yet, out of all edge rushers and interior defensive linemen, he was 8th in the NFL in sack rate. The next interior lineman, former teammate and current Seahawk Leonard Williams, was 10th in sack rate. In the context of everything good about Dex, I think it's imperative to know the context of what he's facing. And you know that famous picture of Calvin Johnson being double-teamed at the line by 2 Saints defenders near the goal line? It's like that for Dex on almost every snap. And when you leave him one-on-one, your QB and line pays the consequence. What's impressive about Dex's 2024 was that QBs were releasing the ball on average of 2.68 seconds per throw. That was the second fastest average release time in the NFL. Dex was able to get 9 sacks in the first 7 weeks of the 2024 season, while QBs were getting rid of the ball that quickly. Lawrence's 9 sacks aligned as an interior defensive lineman were the most through the first 7 weeks of a season in the next-gen era since at least 2018. What really is a treat is seeing the next-gen pass rush paths fully drawn out for Lawrence. When being double-teamed more than 60% of the time from the nose tackle spot, there's no time for wasted movement, and frankly, the easiest path to the quarterback from that spot is straight ahead. 10 of Dex's 30 pressures were within 3 seconds, just one shy of what Aiden Hutchinson had in 2024, and half of his pressures in 2024 were when he was doubled. He is playing a different game than everyone else. And as the years have gone by, the bar has been raised for Dexter Lawrence. It's getting to a point where it's no longer relevant just to compare him to other interior defensive linemen, but this year fully showcased, it's time to start comparing him to all pass rushers, including the league's best edge rushers. Through the first 9 weeks of the 2024 season, shortly before Lawrence got injured and was out for the remainder of the season, he was second in the NFL in sacks, only behind Trey Hendrickson. During that same stretch, Vita Vea was the next interior lineman in sacks with 5. Dex was tied for first in pass rush productivity with Cam Hayward among interior linemen. In true pass sets, he was second in pass rush productivity. When you include edge rushers and interior linemen, he was tied for 14th in pass rush productivity, and in true pass sets, he was 9th. In true pass sets among interior defensive linemen, he was 4th in win rate, and when you include edge rushers, he was 22nd. Now, that's just through the first half of 2024. An impressive first half where he was a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, but how about the years where he played full seasons? In 2023, he was first among interior linemen in win rate in true pass sets, and when you include edge rushers, he was third in win rate in true pass sets. In 2022, he was second in total pressures among interior defensive linemen, and including edge rushers, he was 13th in total pressures, all as a nose tackle, all while being doubled by more than 60% of his snaps the last 3 seasons. I interviewed Dex in the winter of 2023 and asked him, what was it that made him truly break out? Was it well-respected position coach Andre Patterson unlocking his hands? Was it the move to nose tackle, or was it simply the fact that interior linemen sometimes just take longer to develop and break out than other positions? Here's what Dex had to say.
Is there anything that you attribute to unlocking you in 2022 and beyond?
Honestly, I wrote a message in my phone and that said, let the light shine. Whatever it is, wherever it comes, however it comes, just let it shine. Don't shy away from it. Go attack it. And, now we here. And I think it just helps with my mindset, and I get a lot of peace at home with my wife.
Yeah.
And so I think that's just all accumulates to, my success on the field.
Yeah, balance.
Good balance.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely not the answer I was expecting, but who might have say what actually was the aha moment in his career? Sometimes it's more than just something on the field clicking. A guy finding balance in his life is huge. And speaking of balance, Dex is going to be surrounded by some awesome edge rushers this year, and Brian Burns and Abdul Carter, while veterans like Kayvon Thibodeau and Chauncey Golston will be backing them up and rotating in. I still have Defensive Player of the Year expectations for Dexter Lawrence. And if you were to put a gun to my head and ask me, out of these two unlikely scenarios, which is more likely to occur, a Dexter Lawrence 15-sack season or a 5-sack season, I would honestly say a 15-sack season. I think he's that good. And nobody else in the NFL is doing it like he is at the position he's doing it in. And as long as the Giants aren't a complete dumpster fire, Dex is going to get his flowers, he's going to get his rewards, and his age 27 season may just be his best yet.